What's up, Big Central on a Monday, November 6th. Brought to you by the Barstool Store. It's that time of year again. Barstool Ugly Sweaters have arrived. Brand new ugly sweaters have just been released, and they are now 20% off for 24 hours only, ending on Tuesday, November 7th at 10 a.m. Hurry and shop yours now while supplies last. Order today and get them in time for your upcoming holiday parties. All ugly sweaters 20% off, 24 hours only. Go to store.barstoolsports.com now.
Yes.
I like this one a lot, the Kevin James, which I still don't really know what it means.
How about mine? Mine's
Let me
fantastic.
tell you something. That meme made me start watching King Queens. So,
I
watched it, but never all in full.
I had only watched it in syndication.
It's the best.
Like, I've never watched all the way through. I've never popped it on, but
Arthur
you get enough
Spoon
of
is
it.
one of the funniest guys in the world.
It's a good show.
It's a good pop. I like it late at night. TV Land, this and that.
I like the
don't
Drake. I know Rico is not a Drake guy, but I like the Drake ugly sweater as well. It's a great. His new album where his kid wrote, Drew. It's a great sweater. We're getting this. You gotta get sweaters now.
Show mine, please. This is the first one I've ever designed. It's if you're a kid of the '80s, you'll appreciate this one. The old NES system on there.
Right in our demo.
Best Christmas ever. There are a lot of people.
Any grandparent that wants a
That's
ugly
not
sweater?
no. Oh, shut the fuck up, sweetie. You didn't have one of these?
I did, but I barely remember. Mine would be an N64 for that.
That's bullshit.
Oh, there was one other note.
How old are
What
you?
was that bullshit?
How old are you?
There's one other.
N64 was 97. That was
Yeah.
84.
There's
No,
one,
okay. This was very
86.
popular in the late
Sorry.
'80s.
I finished the ad. There's one note in here I forgot to do. If you all ugly sweaters 20% off. If you buy Clemmers, you get a free order of dentures. It says on here from the merch.
That's not no. Smitty, no. This was so super.
Smitty, he's the one making fun of you. I just stated mine would be an N64. That's it.
How about the Super Nintendo? You didn't have
Yell at
that?
the one and the other. Yeah.
N64 was the best Christmas ever.
All right. Well, this is
be
the
honest,
best.
97.
That's like
That Nintendo 64 video, that kid, I need to know what that
Nintendo
kid's
64 is the, like, what is that?
That's NES. That's the original.
That's the
Nintendo,
original.
Yeah.
I don't-
So this is the original. Then it was Super Nintendo.
Oh, those were the best to blow into it. It was very
Yeah.
fun.
You never played like Super Mario Brothers like on this?
Yeah.
I love
What
NES,
was that?
but you putting down a Christmas sweater, you might as well put Pong on there.
No, I disagree. I bet
Or
this.
Atari.
I bet this does okay.
I hope it does.
I bet
That's
it's
great.
I think it looks really cool. And I said, if you're a kid of the '80s, which there are,
And
It was great.
there are.
That's going to be great at the Sunrise communities.
Nintendo 64.
Not, this is not that old.
it's a good design though. I do like it.
Thank you.
All right. Lot to talk about. Sports is in full swing now.
This
It's
is the best day.
Unbelievable.
This is finally
Yeah.
the best day. Everything's going.
Yeah. It's good to be displaced. It's good to have one television when all these sports are going on. It's really nice. When they told you you'd be what?
You?
Oh yeah, it sucks. I'd be like, I'll be back by I'm praying for Feast Week.
Oh, I love feast.
Bad situation. But it is what it is.
Oh, that might kill you. If you have one TV for Feast Week, you may die.
Yeah.
Can you just come here?
I might pull a mantis and just live here.
Yeah.
The way it's going every day is hell.
How'd you feel after taking that charge?
Great. I took 2, by the way. Which one?
okay.
Which one? The
I-
early one on the NBA player,
the one
or
where
the
you're
other
the one
one?
where you're still moving your feet, but they called it.
I analyzed real quickly that we didn't need a lot of offense in that game. If they needed it, I could give it to them. But we had a lot of guys who were black holes. You give it up, you ain't getting it back. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do to win this game? By the way, we won by 1. And the last time I checked, those 2 charges saved us 4 points. So do the math in terms of plus minus. 2 rebounds, a nice dish,
You didn't turn the ball over?
bucket. No, I did not.
What do you think, Marty? You got a spot for him on our team?
I just got to see more film. I saw 2
I
charges.
was impressed.
Our offense, the teams we play are better offensive than those.
You need that guy who takes charges though, or girl.
I thought that girl was going to
got
fucking
one.
drill one in my eyepiece at the end of the game, too. Fighting over screens. She played for UCF, so shout out people at UCF. It was a fun time. All right. A lot to start with yesterday. One of those where, like, wasn't really popping early, and then the witching hour exploded. So, a lot to start with. We want to start with the hometown, the fact that Daniel Jones may have played his last game as a Giant. Do we want...
Let's start Thursday night. I mean, Sunday morning. Sunday morning, first game, Dolphins Chiefs.
I love Sunday morning football.
I do too.
9:30,
I could give
especially on. No, sorry, Smitty. Daylight savings time. I get it, but I was up, awake. Kids were running around. It was 7:45. It was beautiful. And then you make breakfast. You sit down. You watch the game, knowing you got a full slate coming.
Yep.
Yeah, because you don't have to sit there in the morning like, all right, I got 4 hours left till football. It's like, no, you have to kill about 27 minutes after the game.
I did the dishes within like that.
Yeah, it's just enough time to make lunch.
If anything, it's not early enough. Get a game in London, get a game in Frankfurt, get a game in Prague, get one in Japan. Have it all night.
Why doesn't the MAC just start playing on 9:30s on Sunday morning?
Should
on the non-London weeks.
Any team like any
Why the fuck not?
They really should.
non-Power 5 college football teams 100%.
100%.
And they've taken up every day of the week now.
Yeah.
Might as well
Like,
play
you know,
Sunday.
you had like Conference USA took up the Maction weeks where Maction hadn't started yet.
Yeah, you might as well play it. But yeah, KC obviously came out firing. Miami looks dead, and then Miami all of a sudden is not dead. What do we really take away from Miami again? Not stepping up to a major competitor. Every time that they've been in these games, they lose.
I think this is what we got. Chiefs defense is really good.
Mm-hmm.
This is the best defense I think Mahomes has ever had.
Yeah.
And
Is it like unfair that he has a good defense?
Kind of.
yeah,
It's like unfair.
It's like,
Was
I think
it
it's
unfair that Brady had one?
yeah.
No,
Charles,
but to see it again, like play out again, is kind of
This
not.
is the worst.
It's a little give and take it though, because I think it's also it's going to sound weird coming out. I think it's the worst offense they've had. That's not saying a lot because they've had some
100%
good
is.
ones. But it's the football gods give and take it. The great defense comes with lose some weapons. Offense isn't quite as sharp. I mean they put Kelsey in a box.
Yeah.
What do you have? 7 yards.
They made sure he wasn't the reason they lost. Like he didn't beat them.
And that's all they have to really do because you got Rice and Sky Moore. Like who else?
I think Rashee Rice can be good in a couple of years.
Yeah, in a couple of years. That's what I'm saying.
I
Now
think he's pretty good right now, but
He's solid
Or
now,
that's
yeah.
Mahomes as well.
But the thing is, what you have to say, there's no way in hell you could tell me that the Dolphins are a Super Bowl contender right now. You can't.
They're 6-0 against teams with winning records, or losing records, or 0-3 against teams with winning records.
I've
that's
been
that's
saying it all year.
So here's the thing with the Dolphins. They don't play, unless you consider the Jets a tough team, which I don't consider them a tough team. They don't play a good team again until Week 16 against the Cowboys. So this fraud label is not going away anytime soon.
Yeah, and that's it's like
Wait, where do they play the Jets?
They play them twice.
Yeah, so I do consider the Jets at home. I do consider it.
They
tough.
play,
Yeah, for sure.
They have a bye, then they have Raiders
day after
in Miami,
Thanksgiving,
and then at Jets at the Black Friday game.
yeah. I just think that the Dolphins offense was like stagnant in the first half. They just didn't get it going. Tua had some bad throws. Like throws I think he like the Tim Tebow throws, like the ones with the floppers. Like and they were wide open. I don't know. I just the Dolphins you just cannot say that they're for real right now.
It's the Frankfurt effect. It's not making those throws in South Beach.
Do you think but now that's also kind of do you consider that like a little of a fucked up game? Where it's like you can't put all your chips into them being a fraud because you're in Germany. It is a weird.
Yeah, it would have been if they
I
were their
mean,
only loss. Though.
the
They lose. They
Chiefs
got
were in
smashed
Germany
by the
too, right?
Bills.
Well, the Chiefs didn't play great
Chiefs
either,
didn't
though.
score any points in the second
Chiefs
half.
didn't play great either.
No, they didn't. Well, I was gonna say it was so weird how that first drive they had was about a flawless drive you can ever see. And
Unbelievable.
they just went like 10 yards, 15 yards, 12 yards, 7 yards, 9 yards, bang, bang, touchdown. And then I was thinking I had the under. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be 45-42. And then they totally stopped. I mean, the third, they didn't score in the second half. The third touchdown was like the pick where he made a great play loud on the back and take it all the way.
Who was that? That guy was fast as fuck.
Look,
He-
when
Bro,
he put the
took-
burners on, I was like, oh my
I
god.
was like, I thought he was gonna get tackled 3
I did
times.
too. He smoked the receiver, whoever was chasing after him, just dusted him. Crazy fast. But not their defense is great. Offense is, I mean, it was sharp early. Like I said, they did a great job on Kelsey, like not letting him get off at all. I mean,
And the Chiefs did a good job on Hill, even though he had what do you have like 80 yards? That's 20 yards to him.
Waddle keeps getting hurt too.
Every
Every game, like I feel like he gets banged up at some point.
But if that game was in Miami, I think it's easily an over.
That's the
Maybe.
thing. I
Maybe.
don't think you're wrong, Smitty. So we keep talking about the London unders. Maybe it's the Europe unders. So the Colts are playing the Patriots next week in Germany as well. That over-under is 43.5. I'm on the unders.
That'd be an
Colts,
under.
Patriots?
Yeah.
That'd be an under anyway.
Every under in these
Well,
European
the crazy,
games.
the Colts are the only team in the NFL that have scored 20 in every game.
What?
Pretty wild, right?
Really?
Wow.
Obviously, they scored over 20.
That's a hell of a stat have.
They haven't
I
had.
saw it because I was
They've had a bad schedule.
The reason I saw was because I was doing like some research. And I saw their total. And I was like, oh, it looks a little high for this game. It was like 44 for Colts Panthers. And then I was like, and then I saw that stat. It said that they were the only team in all 8 games that scored 20 plus. And I was like, maybe that's. So I didn't play it at all.
Yes, it was.
And then they had two pick sixes that got them over that number. They scored 27, but still kind of a crazy stat for them. They moved the ball quite a bit. The Colts. Also, the Patriots in that game should have went over too. That was a heartbreaker for me.
Yeah,
Should have went way over.
So can Miami Can Miami change the narrative? I guess is the question I'll ask.
With the schedule, no.
Yeah, not with the schedule.
If they like went and like beat the Cowboys at the end, maybe.
Well, you kind of like
Cowboys and at Ravens right after that.
if they're 10-3,
If they won those 2 games, they could change the narrative.
That's week 16, 17. We're in
say
January
they're
now.
10-3. Do you just don't give them any credit yet again? Even though if they beat nobody, still like at what point does that change? Even if they don't play,
I think it's kind of like I've been kind of saying it where I think they're good but not good. Like they're top 10, but they're like a clear top 10 team in my opinion. But
You're
just
saying
not
like the
like
Vikings last year.
Yeah, it's
I
the
think
exact
not-
same situation.
I think the Vikings were like a little more fraudulent, if that's fair.
Put it,
I agree
put it
with
this
that.
way. I still think the Dolphins can win a Super Bowl,
This year,
but it would be they would have to massively overachieve in the playoffs, which we've seen.
That's not.
We've seen done. We've
That means
seen a
you don't
team.
think they can win it. Then I feel like.
I just think when you look at the AFC and you look at like the Bengals, the Chiefs, all like the Ravens, the Jags.
But they still might win. The
That's a
Dolphins
gol-
will probably still win that division.
They're in a good spot too for
Yeah,
sure.
At that point, you got a home game in a divisional.
Actually,
against
who
a
they're
team
rooting
coming
against
to
the most
you,
today is
where
the
they'll probably
Jets.
be favored. Then they get to the AFC Championship. So how much overachieving we're really talking about?
Oh my God!
We've seen
if the
crazy things
Jets
happen.
Are able to win this division.
Oh,
If the Jets win tonight,
Oh
they're in it
my
like
God.
We're only half game back.
they're half game
my
back with 2
God.
games
I
left. That's a
love
real
that.
race,
Yeah.
legit race.
I love it.
With the Dolphins, that Bills loss, the Bills win, doesn't look as impressive in the rearview mirror now. The Bills are 5-4. When it happened in real time, you're like, oh shit, the Dolphins are for real. Let's crown them. But now, I don't know.
Yeah, I just
They
think.
lost to the.
No, that's what I meant to say. Excuse me, I misspoke.
Yeah.
That looks even more damning. Excuse me.
I'm
than
still
it did when it happened.
the Bills. I'm still like. I think they'll be all right.
Watch the
Oh, see,
watch
that's-
the Broncos. Give them a
I
game
don't
this
know.
I had a different take out of that. I wrote this down. The they'll be fine teams in the NFL forever was number 1 was the Chiefs. I think now at number 2 it's the Bengals.
I said
They early on he was like, well, which way are they going to go? They're going to be.
He's
they'll
also
be
been healthy.
You
here, too.
now you for the next 3-4 years to me, the Bengals could be 2-2, 1-4, and you could tell me they'll be fine, and I'll believe you.
As long as
Bengals
Burrow's
have now, yeah, as long as he's healthy.
That's
They've
happening.
now flipped this where the Bengals are like legit. They'll be no matter how slow they start, they'll be fine.
he said it last night. The girl asked him after the game like, what's the big difference? He goes, I can finally run now. That was his exact words. He said, I can finally move. And
If you want to bet a future,
I mean, think about how many good plays he made. Like when he's in the play, he scrambles out, finds the guy, makes a good throw. I think that was really what it was. He just was hurt, had no preseason, he wasn't 100%, and the offense struggled. Now he's healthy, and they're humming.
Want to hear a crazy stat? Every team in the AFC North right now would be in the playoffs if the season ended today. There'd be no wild card teams from any other division.
yeah,
All the
Yeah,
AFC
so
North.
that's what I wrote. The Bills are not the first team out of the wild card, Marty. They're the second team out of the wild.
Wow.
And I think
No,
if the
but-
Jets win tonight, they drop to 3rd.
I just don't. I don't get why you don't think like. I feel like the Bills are just gonna be fine. I don't know how. I mean, they have proved to be fine every year.
What makes you think
It's not
that
till the playoffs are not.
Yeah, well, there you go. They're
I'm
gonna
not
have to
saying
go
I don't
through.
think they're a Super Bowl team, but I think they're going to make the playoffs still.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're trending more towards like not making the playoffs.
Their offense has been so inconsistent.
Their first drive was the best drive, also as well.
But then they
Both their first
petered
ones,
out. So that makes a
Both
question:
of
like,
them,
do they do like the first 15, do the script, and then they have to go off of that? So starting off, yeah, they've got the game plan. They worked on it all week. But now when you have to start going into the mix of it, you can't call the plays and can't get the execution. I don't know. I think that's
it's
where the
true.
offense gets inconsistent, and that goes back to coaching then.
Yeah,
He's become a turnover machine too, and he just wasn't like a few years ago.
he has
Last year and this year, he's
He has the most.
91.
there was
He
so
has
many
the most
picks.
turnovers since 2018.
91 turnovers.
So 9 picks already.
He's
He's played,
also
like, 8
the
games.
best. He's also like the second most wins the fastest, second most wins ever as a quarterback. Like, he literally is extremely good and also extremely bad.
So he's the new Brett Favre.
I was just going to say that. I was just going to say exactly that.
He's the gunslinger.
Like, we can't sit here and still say like Josh Allen's not he's still one of the best quarterbacks in the
sure.
NFL. It's just like their running game wasn't great the past couple games. Like, Cook couldn't do much yesterday, and that's obviously easier because that's what the Bengals were doing great, was running the ball yesterday as well. Like, that's also opened up a ton for the Bengals. They did the same thing against the Bills in the playoffs. Mixon ran all over them, and it opened up everything. So I don't know. The Bengals, obviously, you should bet the Bengals to win a Super Bowl. If you're ever going to do that, wait till it's like week 4 and they're 1-3, and just like there's no reason to do it at the beginning of the season. But they got T. Higgins involved yesterday too, which was nice to see. Like, they looked like, holy shit, the Bengals are back.
I'll give you one team the rest of the way. Which one you taking, the Bengals or the Ravens?
Oh,
Ravens.
you got to go with the Ravens are unstoppable right now.
You do, but you got
Give me the
What'd you
Bengals.
say?
Give me the Bengals.
Yeah, that
I'm
you got
taking
Burrow.
Bengals.
You got Burrow in a one and done situation.
Lamar
Like,
Jackson's is the MVP of the league right now.
Yeah, he is, and they're playing well. They're dominating at home. You get them on the road during the playoffs.
They're not going to be on the road.
We'll see.
We'll see.
That's the thing, though. Where
It'd be very hard for the
They're
Ravens
not.
to be. Yeah, well, it could. That division. How close is that division now? What are the Bengals?
Bengals is
And they're
7-2. Everyone else is 5-3.
It's a 1.5.
Because of tiebreakers right now, the Bengals are in the last place.
They haven't played each other yet. Bengals and Ravens have played no games yet, so they have 2.
That's the thing. There's so much season
That's
left.
huge.
their defense is fucking unbelievable. They're unbelievable. And Lamar is playing great. Like,
At home. At home the last 3 weeks.
They've been throttling teams though.
Yeah, they're like
they have.
throttled.
They have.
Throttled.
I mean, the
throttled
Lions came in, and the Lions look like a
like-
legit team out in the NFC. They might be the 2.
I agree.
Throttled.
The
I thought the
Bengals have won
Seahawks were
4 in
going
a
to win
row.
the game too.
The Bengals won 4 in a row. 2 of those were on
Yeah,
the road.
Seahawks are a decent team too. They throttled them.
But see, I think that goes to my West Coast theory.
Yeah, that's a good point. But
I would love to see the stats on that.
They beat the Titans on the road. They beat the Cardinals on the road. Isn't that impressive, I guess? But it's still 4 in a row.
I'm not discounting the Ravens. They're a very good team. But if I were to put them against the Bengals,
Don't discount the
in playoffs-
Ravens. You're discounting them.
not
You're
discounting
discounting them.
I'm not a
Can't
discounter.
say only at home.
No,
The
no,
Ravens
we're not rolling
have
back
played the
prices.
Bengals, by the way. The Ravens played the Bengals week 2
Oh, that's right. You're right. You're right.
in Cincinnati and won.
Yeah, but that was you
That
throw
doesn't-
those games out.
No, you don't. You don't.
You can't though.
You
'cause
can't throw. That's where I get mad at
In the
things.
world of
Joe Burrow
hypotheticals
played.
and conjecture,
Joe Burrow
Joe
played.
Burrow had
Played.
one leg. You throw out
Okay, so
future games.
the
when they
Lions.
play.
The Lions suck then.
No, I didn't say that.
No. I'm saying the Lions suck because they only beat the Chiefs then without Kelsey and Jones. So throw that game out.
I'm saying if the Lions and Chiefs were to play again, the Chiefs are probably going to have the upper hand. As if the Bengals and Ravens play again, the Bengals are going to have the
I
upper hand.
wouldn't throw it out. I
I-
would just put an asterisk.
yeah, I wouldn't say upper hand, but I would definitely say it's not the same team no more. Like it's not the same.
But Joe Burrow played.
Yeah, but he wasn't. But he
he's a
wasn't
different-
right. He was all fucked up.
I get it, but like we can't.
Nobody's saying that's a loss for the Ravens.
I understand, but it's still. I think the Ravens are better than the Bengals.
You're entitled to that opinion.
I think it's fair.
I don't
This
think
is America.
I don't think it's the wrong answer.
Crazy that you guys like kind of like.
When do they-
Oh no, that's why I brought
think
it
you're
up.
being that. I think
Healthy
I
debate.
just said Burrow, and you're like, what?
I brought it
No,
up
I'm not
because
saying
if
Burrow.
you walked into a bar and you heard 2 people arguing over it and making their cases, as an impartial person, you could be sold on each guy's opinion.
Rico,
I got Burrow when it matters, but I got the Ravens who've looked great.
Their defense is better than
Rico, your
When do they play
definition-
again?
Probably late.
2 weeks.
Your definition of the Bengals being they're okay.
November 12th.
Perfect description of them because arguably they should have been in the Super Bowl again last year.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, it's a Thursday
They're
night
just
game.
going to roll through again.
Would
Yeah.
you rather bet on Lamar Jackson in the playoffs or Joe Burrow in the playoffs?
I'd rather bet on Burrow, but the problem is what's surrounding him, and I do think the Ravens have like all the other pieces around them. That defense is legit.
I think that, well, for me, it's the Bengals defense. The Ravens defense is probably better, but the Bengals defense is good. I mean, just Burrow, he's just so clutch. And for me, it's not even like because I like Lamar. Like me choosing Burrow is not me saying I don't like Lamar. It's me saying I think Burrow's the second best quarterback in the league, and he's just clutch. Also, the receiving core around him is tremendous. Good running back. Like there's a lot there to like in Cincinnati as well.
I just think that the Ravens have like they made the playoffs last year and Huntley was
They did.
and they almost won that game, right?
They did, correct. They did.
Like they have like when Lamar is obviously healthy, which he is playing at that MVP level, and I guess we are arguing that these are two very good teams that should go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
But
just two. They're two
I think
real
I'm
Super Bowl
just so like
contenders.
the Ravens have been very dominant. The Bengals, I know he wasn't fully healthy, but like
And in the playoffs, Joe Burrow made a Super Bowl. He should have gotten back to another one, and Lamar Jackson has one playoff win.
You know, it's a dream scenario too. Right now, if the season ended, the Ravens get the Bengals in the wild card round.
Where?
2-7.
In Baltimore.
Baltimore, because they're winning.
So
These are MVP odds, by the way.
But does Lamar stay healthy?
Yeah,
The past 2 years, he has.
question.
he kind of like has stopped running a completely like he's running smarter. It seems
He
like
needs to.
he's running a little smarter. I haven't seen him take any big hits. Like when I watched yesterday, he was like staying in the pocket more. It's nice to see because he does have a fucking cannon.
You guys are Lamar's playing great, obviously, and guys like Gus Edwards are running all over the place. Zay Flowers is awesome. Odell caught his first touchdown pass as a Raven. It's that defense that's
Dude,
making the offense look that much better.
Marty, I'm not piling on you, but your take of like the Bills will be okay, to me is tough.
Why?
Broncos next week,
Win.
Monday night at home,
It's a win.
should be a win.
win.
That's not should. That's a win.
Jets at home Sunday,
They'll beat the Jets.
still very pesky. The Jets, who have already beaten
Jets have
them,
been like their boogeyman.
the Jets will give them a fight. That's not a layover.
Okay.
At the Eagles, Thanksgiving weekend. Bye.
Lose.
At the Chiefs. Cowboys at home. At the Chargers.
Wow.
Patriots on New Year's Eve, who stink, but would love nothing more than Bill Belichick to pull his pants
Patriots,
down and
they
win
stink,
that game.
but they blew 'em out.
Patriots are trash.
And then
Yeah,
it's
but they're not
okay.
going to lose to him twice.
And then it's at the Dolphins.
Yeah,
So
it's tough
so take
schedule.
away. So it's Jets, Eagles, Chiefs, Cowboys, Chargers, Dolphins. 6 out of what? 8?
Man, if they don't make the playoffs,
schedule.
and Sean McVay,
Very tough.
Oh, he's gone.
Very
gone.
tough.
Oh man.
I don't think he'd survive.
whoa.
I think they might just rebuild the whole thing. I know they have Allen, but like at that point, like
No, you don't rebuild
I
the
don't
whole
think
thing.
you rebuild the whole thing.
They are good
It's a
enough.
complete. Yeah, I know, but it's
There's
I
so
want
much
everyone
good.
to listen
There's so
to
much good
this.
personnel there.
I want everyone to listen to this, and I will play this clip in 6 weeks when they're completely fine.
They're 5-4 too, Marty. That foundation
all right,
isn't
but
great.
we had to set a bar. What's fine? What defines
Yeah.
them being completely fine?
I agree with everything Marty has said on the show so far. I love the Lamar Jackson MVP take. I love hearing the Bills will be fine. I agree entirely with everything Marty has said so far.
Wow.
Marty, where do you see
Oh,
the
he
Bills?
wasn't trolling there?
Where do you see the
I
Bills
have no
finishing
idea.
though?
Serious.
Like what? Like all kidding aside, like what?
Yeah,
11.
but I can't hear what he's saying.
They get 10 wins, 11 wins.
Is in that? Wouldn't you consider that fine?
I don't know if they can get
No,
there
11's
though.
completely fine.
I'll be honest. I think the Broncos give them a game on Monday.
You guys. are crazy.
I honestly think they do.
Now we're just getting out of hand.
But I would say we want to. I mean,
It's at
that's
Buffalo.
I mean,
No.
the Giants. We just went and should have beat them.
I'll give you a team. I'll give you a team.
We stink.
I'll give you a team right behind them.
You guys do
that
stink.
No one is considering a true wild card team, but maybe we should. That's right there. Their schedule is at Bengals, Cardinals, Jaguars, both at home, Broncos at home, at Jets, at Titans, Browns, Titans, at Colts. Any guesses?
Houston.
Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Which schedule would you rather have?
I'd rather the Bill. I love C.J. Stroud. I'm not having this conversation. I'm not having a conversation that the Texans are better than the Bills.
The
They're a
Texans are
game out of
finding
the playoffs.
Texans are
Okay.
finding ways to
Not
win
having-
games. The Bills are finding ways to lose them.
They have a half. They're half
I'm not having
game
this
behind the
conversation
Bills.
that the Bills and
They have
Texans.
the same record as the
Might
Bills.
not
basically.
want to have that conversation, but at a
Do
point
it.
when 8 games have been played and they're
Yeah. They're a half game.
half a game behind
Are we
each other,
fucking
you kind of
serious?
do have to have
That's an indictment on the Bills. That is so embarrassing. That's beyond embarrassing. If the Bills don't lose to the Jets when Rodgers goes down or the Patriots, they're flying high right now.
I said they should have lost to the Giants.
Yeah.
too.
We should have beat them in Buffalo.
This is on McDermott.
How do you lose to the
Marty.
Patriots if you're
Bills,
losing?
they're playing awful, and I get that, but I'm not going to sit here and say the Texans are in the
But
same league.
when you
as-
said that they're going to be fine, define fine.
I think fine, just like they're going to make the playoffs,
Making the
like
play-
pretty easy.
So if they
I don't think
squeak-
that's
if
fine
they
for the
squeak
Bills.
into
Well, that's
the
what I
last
think.
wild card.
So
That's a
what's your-
regression.
guys. What's a regression?
Just making the playoffs, just making a wild.
Well, I
card.
think they'll win a playoff game too. Like I don't. Is that fine?
Okay, that
That's fine.
I think the Bills
fair.
win a
That's-
playoff
Yeah,
game.
that's fine.
fair.
I will put literally almost anything I have. on
They
the
win at
Bills
least one
winning.
playoff game.
Besides
They're
my
minus
hand.
115 to make the playoffs.
I'd say
What do you say?
That's good. They're
Minus
basically a
115
pick 'em
to make the playoffs. So basically a pick 'em.
It depends what the
Time to get
teams
it,
do
good
around
bet.
them. I don't think this team has looked great, but their defense is dominant. This is the Browns at the Ravens, probably a loss.
I love the Browns.
Steelers at Broncos, at Rams with the backup out there. Jaguars at home. Bears at home. At Texans, Jets, at Bengals. I think you can make a case the Browns schedule might be.
What happens if the Browns give the Ravens a run for the money this week, which they have?
The Browns schedule might be easier than the Bills. I'm just saying it's starting to get crowded, and everybody might have a little bit more of a easier road than the Bills.
We were just talking about the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. The Bills went to Cincinnati and played them well.
There's teams in different directions, though, Marty.
You don't think they played them well? Are you what? Am I watching fucking different games?
I mean, it was like they had control of the game from start to finish. The Bengals.
Yeah, no, but I don't think that they blew them out.
No, they didn't blow them out, but it was more like I would argue the score wasn't totally indicative of the type of game it was.
So you would rather the Texans right now?
I didn't say
Would you rather
No,
Texans?
no.
I would say this. I would say this. I would say this.
And a guy with
I don't think they're
Obviously, the
crazy far off.
it's going to sound
I would take the Bills, but
long term, you ask me who am I taking in a draft? Yeah, I'm taking Josh Allen first. But the way he's playing, being a turnover machine, and what Stroud's doing and that locker room behind them, you could talk me into Stroud is playing better than Josh Allen right now. I don't think that's much of a stretch.
I mean, he's had a better season. I don't think anyone could argue that.
And going down the road, I think, which guy do I want to back? I think I'm taking Stroud.
No, that's fucking insane. I love C.J. Stroud. He's had he hasn't played a fucking full year yet. He also just came against the Buccaneers. Good for him. Great. I know the Buccaneers fucking suck. I understand.
All right, there we go. There we go. We had to hear
I am not. We're not doing shit here.
this guy?
You guys are saying so much.
Go ahead, continue. Go ahead.
You guys are saying so much stupid shit. I'm not doing any shticks anymore. You're a fucking idiot if you would take C.J. Stroud over Josh Allen
Wait a
right
second.
now.
Here's a question for Nick.
You're an idiot.
I don't think you are, Marty.
You're an idiot.
Stroud has 14 touchdowns, one
I really don't
interception.
think I am.
Okay, 7 games in.
I really don't
8
think I
games
am.
in.
One.
You guys are fucking idiots.
Let me ask Nick a legitimate question.
One interception.
about quarterback development. So in baseball, you see a rookie pitcher come in, dominate, and especially early in the season, and teams figure them out, quote. Does that happen for a quarterback? Do teams figure out quarterbacks in that way? Or can quarterbacks just...
Happened to Mac Jones.
Real quick, we have an NFL fucking potential. Or you're in the Hall of Fame, correct?
Not the NFL.
Okay, yeah.
Ohio State.
Clemmer,
State Ring of Honor.
Smitty asked a question about
Jets.
locker rooms and quarterbacks,
Jets.
and Clemmer answered before Nick Mangold. I want that. The rest of us shut up. I wouldn't have pounced on you if the rest of us were like, yeah. All of us knew. Stay a little.
I'm going to remember this, Rico. That's fine.
That was a question for the NFL.
Hey, you got a
bet.
little outline.
I wasn't aware. It's a question for Nick.
He said Nick. He literally said my name.
I didn't hear it. I'm sorry.
I'll be honest, I didn't even hear him say that. I just more so was looking at
I
his
apologize.
That's funny.
I was excited. I
I knew the question was.
I'm going to remember that, Rico.
And he was
Next
looking
time
at
you say
me.
anything, I'm going to right down your fucking throat.
If a Hall of Famer sitting next to me, have every round to
happen next
every
week.
right to jump on. You have every right to jump on me.
Anyway, yes, they do. That's why there's the sophomore slump for quarterbacks. And so you look at it, and I feel you can't really judge a quarterback until they've been 3 years. Because you start out one, you can have a hot year. And especially this year, because the Texans also have a rookie head coach. For some reason, rookie head coach also seemed to do well their first year. And then they have a sophomore slump. So by the time you get to year 3, you kind of get a better feeling because defenses have now been able to plan for him and being able to see him, have film and everything. So you'll know year 3 if he's the real deal for long term. Whereas right now, in it, and yes, the stats do back up. 14-1 is really good, but he's just having a good year. Is it sustainable? No one knows yet.
Where I was set, it's 8 games in, 9 games in. We cannot, like you say, his ceiling's fantastic. He's great. Josh Allen has shown how good he really is. His stats are incredible. Yes, he turns the ball over, but his other we're not talking about his other stats too. How many touchdowns he has?
Well, I think it's a
His
product.
legs are incredible.
It's a
too.
product of coaching. The reason why he has so much turnovers is because he's relied on to do so much. It feels like he needs to do everything.
That is.
Do we need to worry about
They
his
still don't even go to
shoulder?
digs every play, which they should.
Isn't he dealing with a right shoulder injury?
No one's talking about that. It's okay. He's okay though. That's what I'm like.
That-
He's very hurt.
But that hurts the Bills' long-term chances, though, right? If he's hurt, Marty, this year.
He was still great yesterday. What I'm saying is this. I'm saying, or interim coaches, I feel like when their first game they play, they always win.
Oh, yeah. You knew. I mean, the Giants' side being terrible. The Raiders were going to win no matter who they played.
Weren't the Raiders favorites
-1 yesterday.
That line spoke.
I love the Raiders yesterday.
I said on Friday, I would never bet against the Giants, but
I'm the idiot that went with the Giants.
It's just
I'll wear it.
when a backup quarterback comes in during the middle of the game. Sometimes you didn't plan for this guy. You don't know exactly what he's going to do. It fucks with some defenses sometimes. And then the next game, that backup gets smoked because they can plan for him. Stroud, I think that's where I was like, we cannot be saying this early. That is even take your Ohio State pants off for 1 second. For 1 second.
Bro, it's not crazy.
Not you.
It's not a crazy.
I'm not even like the one who really
I know.
said
That's why I want you
I'm not even the one who really
get this
said it.
room
But
back
that's how
in
you know
check.
it's a valid point, and everyone.
No, it's not a valid point.
No,
It's not a
Marty,
valid
let me say this. Let me say this. I don't think it'd be crazy to
Put a poll up.
I don't think it would be crazy for someone to be like, you know what, like if I had to buy stock in one right now, I'd buy Stroud. So I think that's a little different.
What we're talking about. It's not stock because he's younger. He's obviously has more upside at the set. But right now, this second, who your quarterback want to be, you're taking Josh Allen, and they're your.
I mean, no, probably, but I do think it's he's played. I agree. Like Mangold obviously made a great point about like he's played 8 games. I totally understand that, but I mean, he's looked so good, and even like people talk about like the weapons of like Jordan. Like he's throwing to literally like a rookie, like undrafted guy, and like late draft pick.
Ridiculous amount of yards every week.
Rookie record.
I mean, yesterday he had basically statistically had the best game in the NFL this season yesterday, and to do it like driving them. What was it? The length of the field in 46 seconds. I mean, he's been incredible, and obviously I've been a believer in him. Like obviously I'm an Ohio State guy. I've loved him.
Like he also did lose to the 0-7 Panthers. You know, like we're just not saying that
On
game.
the road.
Like
Yeah.
but
That's
on
a
the
bad
road, like
loss.
he's beaten
Yeah,
the Jaguars. That's his one great win. Good job.
Well, they beat the Ravens too, didn't they?
No, they got smashed.
They
week
got
one
smashed by the
against
Ravens.
They ended up
All right,
they
well,
came back.
Beat the
Beat
shit
the-
out of the
came back, made it
Jaguars.
close.
He got hurt in the Colts game. Am I wrong? Or that was Richardson.
No,
got
Richard.
hurt.
Beat the Steelers.
Smashed the Steelers, beat the Saints, lost by 2 to the Falcons, and then beat the Bucks. Yeah, I mean his schedule hasn't been great.
Like that's what I'm
The
like,
Falcons won it too.
No, but we're just you can't make excuses for him. That's his
Yeah,
schedule.
but he's been good.
Just the
every week.
fact
Not every
that
week,
just
no.
the fact that we're taking the Texans and even in remotely the same ballpark comparing them to the Bills this season is a failure for the Bills.
Absolutely.
Yes, but no other shows comparing Stroud and fucking Josh Allen.
No, but this started with the schedule. Would you rather the Bills schedule or the?
That's
Rather
usually
the
where it
Texans
started, that's
schedule.
true.
And I'd rather the Texans
Rather
schedule.
Texans schedule.
And I think
That's
they
why
have,
I
Then Rico got crazy.
But I think the point started with like that. It was the schedules and like who do you think could have a better record this season? Then it became just purely like Stroud versus Allen,
Yes.
which I think got off the
think
rails
we-
a little bit.
Can we agree that you're wrong? Not wrong, but it's.
How did this just turn? No one pounced on me in the beginning, and now like
I pounced on you in the beginning.
he's been pouncing. Them.
I think that's
But yeah,
no one
he's
else,
been
very
bouncing around all
no one
the
else
place.
did.
I don't think it's a crazy
I
debate.
think if
that
you
Rico
line
brought
the
up at
two of
all.
them up and say which guy is going to give you the better chance to win, you're not everybody is immediately grabbing Allen. They're going, That's what I'm saying.
I think you're looking. I could see the argument.
And I think
if you-
some people
if
would
you,
pick
if
Stroud.
you
They
get rid.
lost.
If you look at just the timestamp of this season, you could have that argument. If you go to the history,
Oh, without a doubt.
you'd
That's
have
why
to
it's.
go, But if
I'm
you, I think
saying-
if you look at just the 8 games,
You wouldn't have said this last week, though. You wouldn't have. If they lost to the
it's more of
Panthers
a-
and scored 13 points, you would have not
more
said
of a
that.
sample size.
No, you're just saying it's more reactionary.
It's
'cause he
also
played
Allen.
great.
Allen could have ended that argument if he kept looking great throughout the year.
Everything's reactionary when a guy's only played 8 games too, Marty. Like, I mean, every game means so much because we have such a small sample size to work from.
No, you don't have a small sample
This
size
stat's
with
crazy, by the way.
Josh Allen.
Dude, you've been quiet.
Right.
I'm actually with you. I think Stroud. I don't think
Yeah,
I don't think it's a
it's
dead
stupid.
lock. Like
I hear that. It's stupid.
Well, no, it was just the stat that he's thrown more touchdown passes than Kenny Pickett has. In his
Well, I'd
he was
rather
hurt.
CJ. If you want to do that conversation, I'd rather CJ Stroud.
Too.
So if we want, that one's easy.
very bold.
that is bold of you.
It's just
We'll mark that one down.
crazy what we're talking about right now.
So Houston wins that game against the Bucks.
I don't know. I'm going back. I think if you brought somebody in and you put up the numbers between the two of them and said which quarterback would you want,
Oh, we're
Just
not
this
doing
season.
blind resumes.
If we did that, it'd be easy. Of course.
No blind
I
resumes.
love blind resumes.
but if you did
That
just,
one, you'd be like, oh, give me that guy. Stroud.
I do.
No,
I
you'd see.
think
I'd see
there's a
some.
week.
I'd see playoff wins, and he's still.
no. I said for the 8 games.
Hey,
When's the
that's,
slowest
well, that's not what it's not what it's about, Nick.
What?
You would say July?
Then what's it about?
July?
August.
July is just going to be blind resume week.
I'm down. I love. No, not week.
Every sport.
Not week. A whole month.
Well, we have baseball in July. Don't forget about baseball.
We'll do blind baseball month.
Yeah, all right, baseball.
All right, so Houston wins that game 39-37. And then Marty in the chat the whole time keeps going, I got the Bucks +3 to close out a parlay. He's like, I hope they don't score. They scored the touchdown to go ahead. They were +3.
I said this
he was hoping for the push. It's quiet. Everyone's kind of essentially rooting for the Bucks to cover. Then Ev comes in late and gets absolutely hosed by the non-2-point play.
Well,
I respect that. Sorry, but I respect that from you because you saw it was for $1,200. It wasn't like a
Yeah, I didn't say
bet.
nothing. I was like,
you
I
didn't
just wanted
say
to win my
anything
bet.
because that's a friend. You're like, I'll see what happens, but then once you
really
lost, you
needed him
spoke up.
to.
Yeah, you probably needed to, and
That's
that's
the
just
right
a friend,
play, by
though.
the way.
That's a friend.
Do not open up the extra point getting blocked. You take the
No,
knee.
but
Oh,
it was the right play.
the knee.
Well, if they had a kicker, they should obviously a healthy kicker. You kick it.
I don't know. I don't know.
I absolutely
think so?
disagree.
The fact that he made one
Absolutely
already,
disagree.
put him out there again.
No,
But I'm saying, I'm saying,
kick it.
I don't know. I don't know. You play with fire like
How much
that.
time was
No,
left?
no,
4 seconds?
6.
6.
You absolutely do not open the table where an extra point can get blocked and they
if you
tie
have
the
your
game.
normal,
you kick. No, you kick.
Not.
yes,
Absolutely
you
not.
would've.
You're gonna take the
If the
knee.
kicker's healthy,
And you don't run a
would kick.
play to go up 4 because you can
Why?
fumble.
If the kicker's
not
healthy,
Fumble
you
a
kick.
snap too.
The situation is
If
this.
you fumble the snap, you just lay on it.
Yeah, actually, I don't get. Why not just go for 2?
No,
Because you can open up the fumble
You don't
back.
go for 2. You don't go for 2.
Why?
Because
Because you can open up the fumble back.
Because they could score and
How
tie
often
it.
does that happen? You got to trust your offense.
No. You don't go for
You're
2.
just open. Okay. There's 3 doors. There's
No, you
3
don't go for
doors.
2.
Door number 1, kick the extra point. Bad things can happen.
Okay.
Door number 2,
No kicker.
just take the knee. Nothing bad can happen except
You could lose in a field
1%
goal.
of
You could lose.
1%.
Oh, but no, that can
massive-
happen. You get a pass interference call, and now you're kicking a field goal.
Only one thing can happen: a massive miracle on and the clock
it's not
might run
massive.
out
No, but
on a return after
No,
you
man.
squib it.
No. If the normal kicker was healthy, like if Fairbairn was healthy,
Not kicking it.
they absolutely kick.
Oh yeah, they do.
100% kick.
They would've
They absolutely
Then you
kick.
can't.
They would've
then-
kicked it.
Then you have zero chance
Right.
of losing.
Exactly.
That's not true. They still get a Hail Mary on a touchdown.
Rico, what's more
That's
likely?
the same
For
way as
80
mine.
yards?
What?
80 yards or 40 yards?
You guys are saying the same thing.
Oh, we're saying 40 yards of pass interference. You could kick a field goal after.
We had no timeouts. With 6 seconds, you can't run a play to get to field goal range. That's
You
just
can.
Yes, you can. You can run. You can run a play
Throw
to
a
pass
bomb.
interference.
You can throw like a
Get
quick.
Rico, what's
quick out
more?
pass
What's more likely to
interference.
happen?
where can you throw a bomb down the sideline? You
I'm
get
saying
lucky. with
No,
that.
you can
do
just throw it over the.
Okay, look
You can do
at
a
the
quick out.
Rico. Look at the Eagles game yesterday. First play, 40 seconds left. 50-yard bomb, pass interference.
Yep. What's more likely to happen? They get that 6 seconds, or you fumble the ball and they return it all the way back for a touchdown.
I
Over two
disagree.
is crazy.
That can never
They
happen.
wouldn't. They wouldn't. You don't go for 2.
Over 2 is
But if the
crazy.
kick, and I agree
I'll go
with
for 2.
I agree with. Nah, that's you're not.
You're an idiot.
I'm also not an NFL head coach, so.
But no, but
Kicking the ball
the
is what you do.
heartbreaking thing from the betting perspective was if the kicker never got hurt in the
Right.
first place, like they wouldn't have went for all those 2s because they went for 3 2s, got one of them.
Oh yeah.
The extra point would have been technically just to go up 4.
Yeah.
If things have just stayed like how they were.
They should have let that fucking guy kick one.
But at the same time,
Good. That field goal.
but at the same time, I don't know how aggressive they would have been because they would have only needed a field goal to tie it. So that could have changed their whole mindset of like we need to go score a touchdown. So they were extra aggressive and they hit the big throws. Which the throw he made to Dell, not the touchdown, but the one before was insane. That was one of the best throws I've seen this season.
That is true.
Just the way everything played out was.
I also texted that when I had the Bucks +3. They were down 3 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and I was like, oh, I hope. Like I don't even know if I want them to score or I don't know if I want them. Whatever
I
happened.
wanted them to go to overtime.
And there was 2 more touchdowns after that. That was crazy. Stroud's last drive was fucking insane. The way he picked that defensive play. Did they have 2 timeouts?
It was 2 timeouts, 46 seconds.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And because they had to waste the one on like just like a 5-6 yard completion over the middle. Of the
First
tight
one.
ends.
Yeah.
You could say that was like Josh Allen-esque.
Yes.
That's the thing.
I don't know if
Fair
he'd ever
too,
done-
Josh.
Has he ever done that before?
Yeah, he's done that.
Pulled
He's
a
done that
CJ
probably 6 times.
Has he ever pulled a Stroud?
He walked right into that. Yeah, Bucks lose.
Honestly, Stroud did it the game they lost to the Falcons. He did it too, but then the defense just let up like the game-winning drive. He drove him down, scored a touchdown to win the game, and the defense didn't hold up.
Listen, I also never said the Bucks were going to be good. I said Baker would be good. Played great yesterday.
Fair enough.
Oh, I don't know.
Great yesterday.
Sure, we
Bucks
have tape
lose.
that says otherwise.
What a shame.
Poll update. I did Stroud Allen. 150 votes are in. It's 55-45.
Who?
Allen's winning.
Oh, really?
I guess the point is,
it was
I think it's
75 to
closer than you
150
think.
votes.
That proves Rico's point, though. It's a good argument. It's a
150
good
votes.
discussion.
150.
Allen's the right choice right now, but I think it's closer than you're giving it credit for. I'll leave it. At that.
I can at
like
least
that take.
go with that. Not like that. It's like
And I think we could look
Oh,
up.
you did not say
we could
that.
potentially look up a year
It's
from now.
closer than you think.
We could potentially look up a year from now, and it could just be like
Yeah,
obvious.
but you still
one way or
would.
the
You
other.
said you'd take him right now. We did the exercise, and you said
you
you'd
can
take
make a case. You very much can make a case that Stroud might be the better guy to win.
And you said people would hesitate with who they'd pick. Like they would think more
100%.
about Stroud.
Yeah,
I'd be most interested to see, like, genuinely, if you had NFL GM.
That's
and you,
the one I
like,
want. Get them on.
Who
the
would
phone.
they draft today for the rest of the careers? Stroud or?
No, we're not doing.
I know.
saying
I know. I'm just genuinely curious.
You're a
It's just
team
me
in the
talking.
playoff mix right now. Who do you think gives you a better chance to win, based on what you've seen these 8 games?
It'd be hard not to pick Allen if you said like playoffs.
Yeah.
I will say to this point though, Stroud. I mean, the biggest game of his career, he played his best game ever. That Georgia game was the best game he's ever played. That was the biggest game.
talking. Oh God, no, we're not doing this.
What?
He played good in the best college game, sure.
They were a field goal away.
I'm just saying like when he's
Again.
when he's been under the biggest pressure, he's played the best.
I don't condone the college argument because then we have to talk about Tim Tebow.
No, that was just,
Like,
that wasn't
one,
supposed to be, that wasn't supposed to be some crazy. I was more just making a point that he has when the pressure's been on, he's played well.
It doesn't matter what he does. It literally doesn't matter what he did in college.
These 8 games, though.
Also,
I think if you look
you
at the
want to
blind
talk about
resume,
someone with a dumb statement was Dante saying, "Was he not good in college?" CSI was amazing in college.
That was a wild
Crazy tweet.
I wish I saw it earlier. I didn't see it till like he had already got jumped on for it, and I still tweeted. I didn't even realize when I tweeted at him, he had tweeted like hours
It
earlier.
was a crazy tweet.
He basically was like, "What? Like, how is he so much better?" I was like,
He was great in college.
no, but that's the true thing. How narratives get taken out of proportion. That narrative got created because he just didn't beat Michigan.
No, if you're not a college football fan, you see everyone tweeting that Ohio State quarterbacks suck, which
Also, but
besides him does.
you see that whole Ohio State thing flushed out a toilet.
One person, good for him.
1 out of 3. What's like the hit rate on quarterbacks in general from colleges?
So you don't have many.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I saw that. Daniel Jones out for the year. Might be his last game as a Giant. Pretty much probably is.
I thought,
Look at the return.
I mean, I just don't. Do they have to keep him for next year though? I mean, he's.
But I'm saying
Yeah, but
guaranteed.
look at the timeline.
But, yes, that's true. But he's not. But think it's.
Oh, they think he's going to miss next year as well.
I think he tore his
Miss at
ACL in
least-
November.
and he's got an injury guaranteed,
He
right?
missed at least 8
the
games.
following year, so they probably wouldn't.
Well,
even
his
hit.
his contract's pretty much guaranteed the first 2 years.
Right.
So after next year, it's just what do we do now?
Just let him go.
What do you do?
But I really want. I
Draft
mean,
this year.
I don't. I'm just curious what they're really thinking.
Me too.
Well, they're like obviously they're going to say in the media, oh, like we love Daniel Jones, blah blah. I'm curious if they're like right now already like
Yeah, they're
they're
going
already
for it.
scouting Caleb Williams, Drake
100%.
May,
They
everybody.
have to be.
Obviously they are regardless. That's just good jamming. You scout, you
Yeah, of
don't need a
course.
quarterback. But
100%.
I wonder how seriously they're like we're going to draft right now. Or
What's going to happen to Tommy? Is he going to go to the Hoboken and Mural Leagues?
listen, I love Tommy. I even said this to my dad. I love Tommy DeVito, but it literally when I was saying to my dad, I was like, I literally feel like it's like my buddy like Frank playing quarterback.
That's what I mean.
But it is.
That I grew up with, like that we used to go down the shore together, and now he's just playing quarterback for the Giants.
Be in Jersey
Watching
City,
on
just
TV.
chucking.
I almost. At what point do you give Danny Jones a little credit for how did he get this team to the playoffs last year? Honestly,
His defense and no turnovers.
but how
Shock factor.
How did the deep? This team is one of the worst.
I thought the
football
play
teams
call,
I've
I thought
ever
the
watched.
play calling was more creative last year.
Score a little bit. But yeah, he did have
shit's
some
awful.
bag
This
receivers.
team sucks.
We're going to look back and be like, the Daniel Jones era didn't necessarily work out.
I think Meek Phil
Which
deserves
it didn't, but
deserves a second here because Meek Phil has been saying from Jump Street how Daniel Jones is a
You
liability.
want who said it from Jump Street was this guy. When they drafted him, I borderline cried because I was like, this guy sucks.
To
I
be
shit
fair,
on
a
my
lot of
at
Giants
my
fans.
grandmother's wake on a floor.
I had to buy back in out of I had no choice.
Say that again.
Yeah, I said I'll shit on the floor if we did. If we.
You said you would.
No, and I did.
You did.
We drafted him because I wanted. I think we wanted the other. We wanted.
I wanted Josh Allen, the
Allen,
D end.
the end,
You want
yeah.
Jaguars, who's like who's one of the top sackers in the league.
he's
this year.
great.
So, like
Did you guys want Dwayne Haskins?
I did selfishly, partly,
did
but
too.
he also R.I.P.
we don't like. Caleb Williams is gonna go higher than us, correct?
Not necessarily.
Marty, what are we winning another game?
Yeah, I think Meek. I was looking at the schedule. Our problem is don't be shocked if we end up winning like 5-6 games.
What?
Dude.
Our schedule's bad. Like,
How is this
But
possible?
we're bad.
Who's the
We can't
quarterback?
pass the fucking ball.
I don't know.
if they actually, you know, with DeVito, you know what?
We don't even have Tyrod. Like,
How do you-
I apologize.
All
I
right.
was thinking in my brain we like had
Exactly.
Tyrod Taylor.
quarterback that could like throw a football. If we had Jones or Tyrod, I wasn't thinking that DeVito was going to be the quarterback. the
What's
rest of
wrong
the
with
way.
Tyrod?
Ribs.
He's out for a while.
Another rib?
Isn't he out for the year?
I had a little mental lapse on. I was thinking that pre.
At Cowboys, at Commanders, Pats, bye, Packers, at Saints, at Eagles, Rams, Eagles.
That's 2 and 15 written all over it, folks.
Maybe.
I think we
3
went.
and 4.
can beat the Rams.
I'll revise. I think we win
Yeah,
1 or
we
2
beat
more
the Rams.
games.
You don't want to win any more games. I know you don't feel that way, but I think
This is year like I probably wouldn't mind, but
Well,
This
it
is
depends
teams
on
to
what
win the
this.
This is teams to win the least amount of games, by the way. Just like for
The Cardinals are a very weird situation. Are they going to play Kyler at some point?
no, it sounds like maybe even next week.
So that we'll say
That's probably why they got rid of the Dobbs.
they
Yes.
win a little bit, and then the Panthers. I don't know if
The
they'll.
Panthers and
they're
Bears
so
play each
bad.
other this Thursday.
a good.
It's we have the worst Thursday night game followed by the best. We have Panthers, Bears, but then we have Ravens, Bengals the week after.
That'd be
You
great.
just got to get through this week.
Panthers Bears will sneaky be like a classic. Watch.
Yeah, that'll be
And in a
that'll be
couple-
a action game.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks, I was looking at the schedule. They give you 3 on a Thursday.
Wild.
I thought I could get him. He's getting smarter, folks. All right. You touched on Dobbs. Dobbs might have been the headline of the day yesterday.
You weren't here last week.
Oh, dude, you missed
Yeah, so I-
Friday.
I heard, yeah. And
What
then
happened?
you went against him in Survivor?
This is what
I
happened.
mean, I would have.
Broke the streak, by the way.
this-
Saints, baby.
No, I said I was hammering the Falcons in Survivor because they're at home, must-win game against a rookie quarterback who was already established. And I said the only thing that worries me, the only thing,
did say this.
is Josh Dobbs for whatever reason coming in and having the ball in the
Yeah,
fourth.
all right,
quarter.
I got half of this story.
Dev convinces me.
I was adamant he would not suit up. I was adamant. I was like, he just got there Tuesday. No
You
way
didn't
they
know anybody's name?
No way they put him in pads.
You didn't know the cadence.
I was adamant. I was like, they will
Still-
not play him.
Judging by
I
after
was
the
with you,
fact,
Ev. I was in the same boat, buddy.
judging by after the fact, that I'm saying that he didn't take a snap during practice. He didn't throw.
Well,
to
that was my
receivers,
reasoning. I'm
he
like,
didn't even
he
have the
just got
cadence.
there.
I'm shocked they did dress him. And he won.
And
How
that
do you feel? Who was the Vikings' other option?
No, I think that was.
I think that
Jaron Hall.
No, but Jaron Hall
got hurt. The backup got
Concussion.
hurt in the first quarter.
Who did not look bad on the
They-
first drive, but the
they literally
Vikings
had
aren't winning
no-
that game if he's there.
Dobbs was suited up as like
no
the
chance to win
emergency
that game. He's not there.
quarterback.
No chance.
And then the backup got like concussion, so he had to play.
And then Dobbs looks like Vic in his prime.
Dobbs was incredible.
Wild.
Unbelievable.
And I admittedly, I felt bad. I didn't even say it at the time. I felt bad. On the ice the whole day, I was like, Heineke game 1, like gotta bet him, and I ended up betting the Vikings. I kind of just stayed silent on that.
Yeah,
I tweeted my picks, but I was like, I felt bad that I was so wrong. But then I was right because I bet on the Vikings.
Broke my streak. I won 11 bets in a row, and it broke my streak.
He's such a gamer.
He played great. I mean, he played
And
his ass off.
somebody was saying, I think it was you, Ev, that he's like.
He's like a rocket scientist.
He's a rocket scientist. They were
He
actually
wasn't a
telling
quarterback.
him the routes in the huddle, and he just like
He's memorizing
picture perfect
them.
memorizes them. and goes
Because
out there.
they were telling them like the protection, then like the running back or receiver would basically tell him the route tree, and he would just on the spot just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
He's got basically a photographic memory.
I hate the fact that I predicted that, and I still ended up losing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he played.
See, I didn't catch the beginning of the game, to be honest. So I didn't know Jaron Hall got hurt.
Yeah, he
The
started.
way that Dobbs was dominating,
trying-
I was just like, all right, he started. And
It was fucked up.
He was trying to run in for a touchdown, took a huge hit, and it was out for
instant.
the game.
The refs,
Instant
it was like a boxing match. The refs are like, "You're gone."
Yeah, like, oh, he
Yeah,
got
yeah.
smashed.
The refs are like, "You are out of here."
Got it.
And he didn't look bad. I highly doubt they would have won, but he didn't look bad.
It was so early. You didn't even really get to like.
No.
I mean, he drove him down to the inside the 5, and then he just got hurt, and it was over.
I might have to put a Super Bowl future in for the Vikings now. Seriously.
Dobbs is a good quarterback.
He's better than good. And it's almost like I wouldn't even tell him organize plays. Just have him go out there and do pickup ball.
Can I just rip the Atlanta Falcons for a minute?
They find different ways to lose games. It's
They've
amazing. I say it
spent
all
the
the
top
time.
10 pick on Kyle Pitts, Bijan Robinson, Drake London, and they just don't get these guys the ball in any scenario. They're doing end arounds to Jonnu Smith on 2nd and goal. Like, what are we doing here? We have Bijan Robinson. You drafted him, like 5th overall ever pick they had?
Yes,
London was hurt.
They don't even use him.
Forget about Drake London for a minute. Like, Kyle
Eight,
Pitts.
whatever it is.
Yeah, they've never.
This is
Well,
just
they
last
just-
week.
well,
This is like a years-long
It's
saga.
crazy. They just don't have a quarterback to get him the ball.
They go to do the Falcons instead of keep amping up in the draft. Do the Falcons go to the veteran type? Like, could you see Daniel Jones working there in 2 years?
I would trade him there in a
Could you see
heartbeat.
Kirk Cousins working there in 2
Justin
years?
Fields is going to be there, and they're going to be good.
I'd love it.
Daniel Jones
either
actually
that, or
wouldn't
they,
be
or
like
either
that.
that, or they need to,
Yeah,
they
I
need
was
to,
gonna say,
or they need to finally go all in and just trade up and go get like one of these.
Yeah, but
one of
it's
these
so,
top
like,
guys.
what would you rather do if you were on the Falcons who have weapons around you and you're in that offensive line?
Young weapons
and
too.
and you start reading the newspaper every day or you read the blogs or the internet, and it's like Falcons are either going to go to a veteran like that or go back all in on the draft and look at a guy like which way would you rather go if you know? Don't get me wrong. If it's a dumpster fire and you got nothing around you, go get the rookie and restart.
Right.
But you guys, it's weird because one, the division sucks. Nobody necessarily has a massive stranglehold on the division. Where like, do we think the Saints can dominate for what? Like 2 years with Derek? Like, but it's Derek Carr. At any point, he goes down. The Bucks don't have anybody like lights out. The Panthers don't have anybody. Like, it's a bad division. So which way would you rather go?
I think you'd want to go for the known quantity, right? So like get your Derek Carr, or go get your. I think Daniel Jones, if he can get healthy and they can trade him, like would be a great opportunity. Yeah.
Do you view Daniel Jones at this point as like a poor man's very unproven Alex Smith? Like, is he really going to get you there over the top?
Well, Daniel Jones was the first name that I threw out because I'm still looking
Yeah,
at like.
but what's out there right now? Even like Kirk Cousins is kind of in that.
He's getting old, so now it's like if you're going old, you want the superstar old, right? So that's where like if you're going for a stopgap, I feel like you want someone that's in that range where you got to get a guy coming off injury because no one's going to get rid of a quarterback at 28, 29 that can play.
You know who? It might just be like a restart with the Lions. How many years is Stafford out there? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, how many years is Stafford with the Rams?
He's getting up there.
I just feel like that's not where
Body's falling apart.
his body's falling apart. He was a great player. He still is great when he's healthy, but
How sad would it be if Daniel Jones just fucking kills it somewhere else?
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is it fair to call him a poor man's Ryan Tannehill? Like Arthur Smith was able to help Tannehill kind of resurrect his career, like not career, but like I kind of like Tannehill has
I think you
legs.
could say
Daniel
resurrected,
Jones has
sure.
legs.
That's always the scary thought when you have a quarterback that leaves your organization and goes somewhere. You're like, please don't be good, because then we would know what we missed.
Yep.
Oh, I was guaranteed that Carson Wentz was winning the Super Bowl in Indianapolis. There's no greater doubt in my mind.
But see, if you wanted him to be good, and you're like, it just didn't work out, and then he goes and then becomes good, and you're like, that sucks.
Wish we had that back.
Wish we had that back now.
Dobbs looked insane. All right, let's get to the Eagles and then kind of wrap around the rest of the league. We touched on the Ravens looking dominant 37-3, so I'll cross that one off. But they might – I'll give you that one too then. I guess we'll real quick. Chiefs or Ravens?
Gotta go Chiefs until I proven otherwise.
Yeah, I guess you kind of
it's hard not to.
It's not easy.
They're the
though.
only one that they've proved it.
The way they look. I know, but the way the Ravens look.
I might choose Ravens there.
Their defense, if
Seriously.
you can bottle up Kelsey like the
To Ev's point, like the Chiefs
Dolphins
do
did?
not look like a superpower on offense this year.
Mhm.
So in a game, like, could you see them in a playoff game getting bottled up and scoring 14 points in a playoff game?
I mean, you see the Bengals giving them a little bit of kryptonite. I think the Ravens
Yeah.
might be able to do the same thing.
is it also Taylor Swift's fault? She did not go to Germany,
Yes.
so Kelsey did not have a good game.
Eagles 28, Cowboys 23. I was on the Cowboys. I said I thought the Cowboys could win the game outright. I thought they could scare you and then take a stranglehold on that division. Credit to you guys. You won. You had a million penalties late. What's your takeaway from the Eagles on
You
that?
think the Cowboys are for real now?
They showed a little bit more than I thought, but I also think the Eagles didn't play as well as they could.
Still won the
That's
game.
And they still won the game and they covered. The Eagles are finding ways to win. There are a lot of things that you can question, especially in that fourth quarter. Because I told you last week there were a couple games in where they get the ball with 5-8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Other team just doesn't see it again. They had two chances to really just run out the clock. They couldn't do it yesterday. And then the last drive by the Cowboys, where that would have been the most devastating loss in a while for a Philadelphia sports fan.
They just shit down their leg.
Yeah.
How they had the ball, I was saying, how they had the ball at the 5, and then somehow we're taking the last stab of the game at the 27.
Yeah.
I was like, what is going on?
What
Did you not think that was a touchdown, by the way?
Which one? The one where he stopped on like the one. I thought it was the right call. I was on the Cowboys. I thought it was.
Hey,
It was annoying to me when I saw the slow-mo how it was the right call. He just if he had just like kind of like swung it and then secured it. It was that he like stuck it to his chest and then kind of like moved it over.
Blankenship might have got there a little bit early, but it was bang bang for the most part.
Yeah, it was. I saw it and I was like, "Fuck!" Like they're definitely gonna be marked short.
The Eagles are 8-1 right now. They got a bye week. It couldn't have come at a better time. Get Jalen Hurts healthy, who is banged up. Yeah, he's still playing like an MVP, especially if he's holding on to the ball. Dallas Goedert's out for a while, which is going to suck. But bye week, and then you got the gauntlet. You got Chiefs, you got Bills, you got Cowboys again, you got at Seattle. They can either lock up home field advantage by Christmas or might be a little tough sledding.
2-score game, 11. Would you have kicked the field goal first if you were Cowboys? A lot of people and I get it. Hindsight's 20/20, but the way I look, people go, no, you're
Where were
on
they
the
again?
Inside the 5.
Yeah, I think you'd go. They're on. Like
I get that, but
They were playing aggressive the entire game.
I know, but I always say this: what if you don't get it? You're only shortening the amount of time. You still need 2 scores. My way, kick it. We're in a 1-score game. Maybe I pin you, and now I got a great shot to go tie the game for the touchdown.
You're in a conditional 1-score game.
Yeah, you
have to get
really
the
expecting
still.
to hold the Eagles?
And that's what it is. And like,
that close?
Well, I mean, they
the
did.
The reason you go for it is because
but
if you don't get it, they're pinned back on their own 3 or 2 yard
But
line.
you
wherever it
still
was.
need 2 scores with probably 2 minutes off the clock.
But it's easier to get in field goal range than it is to get all the way down the field again, to go those 100 yards again.
If you just make the stop, like you're basically your first time for being
you're,
back in range.
you're saying that it's easier to get into field goal range.
Because it's just shorter
But
yards to go.
that means you would have missed the touchdown.
how about this, Rico?
They wouldn't have pinned him that deep if they kicked the field goal.
Rico, how about this?
Or if they didn't miss. They wouldn't have been pinned that deep if they didn't miss.
It's just like
How about this theoretical for
you
your?
always get in this thing and confuse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about-
Rico would love
he's
to
like
call
their
the coach
pin.
like a scaredy cat.
Yeah, you always after it
Rico's
doesn't
always kick the field goal. Always kick the
Always
field
kick the
goal.
field goal.
Yeah, because
it doesn't work out.
Not always kick the field goal,
It's
but
always after it doesn't
That's
work out.
chicken shit coaching.
Agreed. And I told you this before the show, Rico.
my way I get a score.
Rico, I
You're
told
inside the 5. It's
Rico.
not easy to get
Right
inside
there.
the 5.
That's the whole thing, right? So
Guess what? As the way the game turned out, I would have needed 2 more field goals, and I would have won the game that way.
Or you could just have Dak Prescott not run out of bounds on a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, like
as
there's
an
yeah,
easy
so many
path,
things.
and you would at
Exactly.
least push.
Exactly.
I think the Cowboys did prove a little bit yesterday, but I think with him at the realm, it is going to always be the same.
Their season just seems to always end like this. It ends in a fashion like that where, what was it, 2 years ago, they don't get the snap off in time, or I think that was 2 years ago.
They match up a little bit better against the Eagles than I thought they would coming into the game, solely because the Eagles secondary is dog shit, right?
CeeDee Lamb's
It's
unbelievable too.
great.
And I think that this
But going up against like the 49ers or even the Lions, I think the Cowboys are in trouble.
Well, we've
Smushed.
seen that
Yeah.
movie play out.
I mean, the
49ers
Cowboys are gonna do
thrashed
this.
them.
They got smushed.
the Cowboys are going to do this. They're going to make the playoffs,
Yep.
and they're going to beat.
They're gonna be the first wild
They're going to
card.
beat the Saints or the
Yep.
if the Bucks or the Falcons, whoever wins that division, and then
Yep.
get smoked the second one.
You know who's in the playoffs right now in the NFC? The Minnesota Vikings. If the season ended today.
They've earned it.
I know. I'm just
Started
it's
0-4,
wild.
and now they're
Guess what?
It's just wild between
Justin
the NFC and the
Jefferson's
AFC.
coming back soon too.
I know. It's just the NFC is so much weaker than the AFC.
It's
just-
incredibly.
crazy.
It's so bad.
Colts 27, Carolina 13. Anybody take anything away from that?
Pass.
Thank you.
Colts aren't.
Who cares?
Saints 24, Chicago 17. I defeated the clock change curse.
I think
But right away, I knew the Bears come down, score. The Bears come down again, score. Like,
hell of a cover by the Bears.
What a sweat that kid.
Dude, if the Bears don't cover,
oh, the Saints are assholes too, going for it again. Make it a two possession game.
I didn't. You play so scared. You
Play so scared it would have been 2 possessions inside of 4 minutes.
or you get 1 yard and the game's
in
over.
the game.
if the Bears cut down their turnovers,
Why don't you want you don't believe in your offense to get 1 yard to win you a
He's
football
a
game?
Giants fan.
Points.
Leave him alone.
You don't believe in your guys.
Points. Get the points and make it 2 possessions.
What if you miss the field goal?
What if you miss the conversion?
And you're in the same spot. So what's the difference?
if the Bears
One doesn't end the game, the other does.
if the Bears only had 3 turnovers, they probably win that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
They
That's how
they
insane
kept
it is.
getting it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
They kept getting chances. I was like, it's never going to end.
Saints
And I
are
said it
horrible.
right. I Fleminged right away. The Bears get the ball back, And I'm like, here we go. I was convinced that if the Bears scored, they were not kicking a tie. They were going for 2. 25-24.
They
final.
should have.
100%.
Saw that a mile
Let
away.
me tell you, your tweets about the Saints yesterday were Fleming-esque. Everything was, it's dead. It's getting dark. And once it's dark, I'm losing. You were like,
I misremembered when it gets. I said it got dark.
Yeah, you were really early.
A little early. A little early.
It's like 3 o'clock getting dark
A
out.
little early.
How bad are the Saints? The Saints are winning the division right now. I mean,
Yeah, they are.
I mean, this is a horrible team.
Because the Falcons can't do dick.
They're
Who
not
wins
very
that division when the season's over?
One of the Saints are.
Probably the Saints.
Saints are a good bad team.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not good, but they're good.
Or a bad good. They can be almost interchangeable. They should be different, but
Well, you know what that means?
like a bad good or a good bad, however you want to phrase
That's
it.
why.
just
That's
means-
what it is. They have weapons, but
The Saints, not that bad.
Saints
But
would be the
see,
number one.
They're not that good. No, the Saints aren't that good.
yes,
Saints
that's what it
stink.
is.
Yeah, I wouldn't say the Saints are not that bad. I would say not that bad. This year is like the who's a not that bad.
Texans were, now they're actually like.
Yeah, Texans were they not that bad. That's become like actually they're
Bay.
solid.
No,
Colts?
Green Bay
Bay-
stinks.
They're terrible.
Colts are not that bad.
I would say the
Colts are not
Colts.
that
Yeah, the
bad.
Colts are probably not that bad.
They're the not
They're going
that
to give you a
bad.
fight every week.
Yes, like you.
But
don't
you like
what
you
they-
know they're not good, but they'll go cover. They'll go
Yeah,
cover spreads
they'll
for
surprise you sometimes.
The Buccaneers could win that
they,
division.
They beat the Ravens in Baltimore.
Stop.
The Colts
That's
did.
who beat
We're only a game and a half out, Rico.
They for sure can win it. That's how
The
bad. the
Saints
division
are dog shit.
Not while I'm sitting here. The Bucks will win. Cleveland 27. This is a team I kind of can't figure out because their defense. Now, granted, it was the Cardinals, but the Browns' defense is like legit. And if Watson figures out whatever the fuck he wants to do, but can actually play.
What scares me with them, they're really good at home. On their home road splits with their defense are so weird.
It is.
At home, they're like, no, you can't do anything on them. On the road, they let up.
I
big
like the
points.
Browns though, dude.
I do
think they're
too.
Very good. I think that Watson needs to figure out his first touchdown pass was off a guy's helmet. So
That was crazy.
They're a team I wouldn't want to be playing in Wild Card Weekend.
Yeah, they're just
that
a
way.
team that's like they'll fuck you up a little bit. Like their defense is. You are right though. Their away is odd.
They let up a ton of points, but then at home, they just like they squish.
But their offense hasn't really. Hunt has been pretty good for them, and Ford like back there have been great. And then Amari Cooper's been good. I just think I like the Browns. They're a very tough team.
Good defense, good offensive line, especially at home. Tough to beat.
Yeah.
Very tough to
And
beat.
Miles Garrett literally is a
Oh, animal.
he's a problem.
Absolute animal.
Green Bay 20, Rams 3,
Pass.
Shit ball.
Las Vegas 30, Giants 6. Nothing really out of
We
that.
suck.
Other than
I love
You
it.
know what though? Like the Giants, I'm
stink.
glad they lost because we're so shitty.
I knew we were
anyway.
gonna lose.
But like it's kind of cool seeing how much they hated McDaniel. Hated him. They were smoking
story-
cigars after beating the Giants.
I thought the story was fake until Jay Glazer told
I
it.
thought it was fake too. Well, they said like don't talk about the Patriots like that.
Yeah, I thought that whole thing was like.
crazy.
I thought the whole thing was
Weird.
weird.
That's a
I
crazy.
thought the whole thing was a troll account.
Crazy.
And then Glazer said it himself on Fox. I was like, holy shit, it's
Dude,
real.
the whole thing was awesome just to see them smoking it after. Did you see hey dudes, did you see your cornerback like a tweet that said he'd rather go to jail than play for the Patriots because
Yeah,
he got arrested for gun charges in July?
Yeah, that was
and
wild.
someone's like, you should have just pled guilty instead of playing for this team, and he liked it.
It's actually kind of funny.
Wild.
College, fucking Kansas.
Here you go, real right there. That team's going to win a national championship, Alabama, and I said it at 30 to
They might
1.
make the playoff.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
that's-
good.
That's the
They're
one.
good. No, they're
They're
good.
good, and there's no denying it anymore. Beating LSU like that,
Daniels
Is it-
did get hurt, but yes, they were.
yeah, you got hurt later.
He got hurt late, but the Bama looked very good. They do look very good.
Milrow,
He's
looked-
I was this close. I was this close. I heard you shitting on me Thursday. I was this close to Texas and Oklahoma losing outright.
I wasn't shitting for that.
Said to, yeah.
Oh, we were shitting on you because I found out that you
No.
you got LSU at 100-1 because of Brad.
Not because of Brad. At around the same time, you
That's
start,
what he told me. Dukes told me
start
that.
looking.
Not because of Brad. I think you might have inquired about it, but Brad did.
It was on. No, the
Brad did
first,
say it on the show.
The first conversation was how many teams can win the national title. And he said, "I'll give you one deep, LSU." And I said, "That's a good point." And then the more I looked at it, I did think they could beat Alabama.
Yeah, I wasn't shitting for the
Yeah, I mean, it's-
Texas and Oklahoma thing.
I also thought Texas A&M was going to beat them too. So, and in the game, I took Texas A&M.
The best thing that happened to Alabama was have that little squabble in the beginning of the year where they sat Milroe, which was crazy to think about now. And I think the team has re-trusted him, and he's gained everybody's trust in that team.
No, I was actually, I'm glad because I was going to bring that up too. That was Saban almost doing like an FU to the fan base. Like, oh, you want to trash Milroe? See what
Look at this guy.
Specifically picked
Look what we got.
the South Florida game. Said, yeah, you want to see how much better
That
this
was
guy
wild.
is than who else we have?
That was off of
go
a
put
loss,
Out, go put out the other
Yeah.
two guys, and all of a sudden it was like a 3-3 at halftime.
That was off of a loss.
That's how bad
That was what he did in that game. He got the entire fan base to retrust Jalen Milroe.
Unbelievable.
And it's worked out very well.
All right, so I'm now obsessed with this scenario.
I agree.
Because I think it's gonna we'll touch on it with Brad Thursday. I'll zoom in for that. It's gonna be there is a lot you can unpack here.
Yeah.
Michigan or OSU is 13-0. So give one. I don't care. You Big Ten people are crazy. I'm sitting in between two nut jobs.
The winner is in.
Winner is in. Okay, so whoever you want it to be, just say Team A, and then the runner-up is Team B.
Well, if they're undefeated, you're saying both, right?
Oh, both would have to be.
They're both undefeated.
Yes, in that scenario. So Michigan or Ohio State, 13-0, Big Ten champion, door number one. Florida State, 13-0, ACC champion.
In.
Oregon,
Has to be.
12-1, Pac-12 champion. Texas, 12-1, Big 12 champion. Alabama, 12-1, SEC champion. Who gets left out?
It's more the situation is more real than I ever imagined it could be.
Unbelievable.
It's now become very real, and it's one of the more troubling scenarios ever. The fact that
I love it.
The fact that Texas beat Bama in Bama is the wrench in the whole argument.
But Texas would get left out.
No,
I don't think they could.
That was my.
I don't think they could do
Would.
that.
So in the poll,
I don't think they could do that.
in my poll, Texas is winning by a large margin. They got 43%.
You can't.
What I've talked.
Why? But why play the games then?
What I've
undefeated in
talked
the
myself
conference.
into is
They're not.
one of these two.
But they
teams.
still won the conference and they beat Bama.
One of
They
these two teams.
Bama have
gets
more
this
fucked.
situation.
better wins.
I think Texas is safe. I think
You think Oregon gets
Oregon
fucked?
gets fucked.
That would be brutal.
Or I could see a world small where FSU gets fucked.
They
In
can't.
the ACC.
I don't think, but not undefeated.
Small,
Though. I don't think
small.
undefeated.
But
I don't think
the-
undefeated.
That
You can't.
Pac-
If they lose a game, they're the first out.
100%.
Oh yeah.
If they drop to Miami or Florida or one of the conference championship, they're out first.
That Pac-12 that we
That's what they're
love.
gonna lose to. They're gonna lose to Florida.
That's what I've been saying. I think that's a tough game in Gainesville. last
You
week.
couldn't fuck over Florida State only because of what Clemson has done in the past years and them getting the benefit of the doubt of going undefeated in the ACC.
And you could still say like they beat LSU. They
I
beat
said
like
that
some
was
good
the
teams.
small distant one. I do think it's Oregon. The Pac-12 that we fell in love with is not holding water as much as we thought it would. Couple of cracks in that boat. Washington State, who was ranked, garbage. Colorado, we obviously knew, garbage.
Utah's still
Utah's good. USC,
Garbage.
cracks.
good. 3 losses.
Cracks.
Oregon
They're bad.
State lost to Arizona last
By a
week.
tough. They have 2 losses.
Oregon State's not having as elite as they are. I think Oregon State's going to get another loss on their column
Probably.
as well.
They have to play Washington.
So
and
Oregon's
Oregon.
best win will be Washington, who they already lost to. That's where it gets.
No, at Utah is a good win.
Well, it's them if they've smashed teams. That's the thing that could suck for Oregon because I genuinely believe out of those 3-4 teams they might be the best one.
Without a doubt. But
I think Oregon's better than Florida State. I think they're better than Texas, and I think they might be better than Bama. That's where it's close.
Is there any way the loser of Michigan, Ohio State gets in?
not in that world.
Not in
Not
this
in that
world.
world.
There
Well,
is
you know
a
what?
world for sure. I think like
not in that world.
If
They don't have a
Florida's,
strong enough schedule,
Florida's,
especially.
well, this is actually what it is too. It's weird because Michigan, I think, no chance with their schedule. Ohio State would have the better chance.
Your win
they
that
played better
everyone's
teams.
Yeah, but you couldn't.
your win that
possibly
everyone's
three
talking
conference
about
champions.
is going down a little bit. By the way,
That's true. That's fair.
Notre Dame one is not.
they'll still like
or
get credit
helps.
for it because
helps.
it's most teams just play shitty out of conference. Like their out of conference was against. Still, I think is going to be a top 25 team, and it was on the road.
I mean,
Well, let
seeing
me
the
ask
graphic,
you-
seeing the graphic for Michigan, their best win is.
Oh, Michigan's horrible. They have
literally
nobody.
Rutgers right now.
They have to go.
They play Penn State this week
But
at Penn State.
let me ask
Well,
you:
but
the
it's a
big game,
Alabama,
though. That's
yeah,
it.
for sure.
Would Alabama get left out? That's the other thing we haven't touched. Would Alabama get left out?
the Alabama Texas is
could.
why I think why Alabama would get over Texas. I know Texas beat them. It's crazy to say, but Bama would have Ole Miss, who's top 10, They have
LSU has 3 losses, may have 4 down the road.
They'll have Georgia. Have they in this,
They
which
would
is
have lost
already better than Texas. Oh, Texas only has Alabama,
They lost to
and
Texas.
they only have Alabama. Who's their best one besides that?
There's a world where an SEC champion gets left out of that.
I don't think there's. I think also the committee fucking loves them still so
Without a doubt.
much.
But you also got to remember,
I-
like Texas has a
this
bigger
scenario's
fan
crazy.
base than anybody.
I love it.
Yeah.
No, I like. We need it.
That's why Oregon would probably get left out.
Oregon would get so fucked.
I just
you think they wouldn't want McConaughey in the playoff?
just Texas.
They
in
want
general.
Alabama bad too.
Texas in general. They're the only team they have their own network.
So who gets left out? Ev? Oregon, right?
As painful as, like I said, I think they're the better team, but I probably
Who would Texas
Yes.
play in the Big 12 championship?
probably
Right now it's either Iowa
I
State
think
or Oklahoma
Oklahoma
State.
State.
So they really have no chance of losing the rest.
But Oklahoma,
that's not true.
no,
It's the
Oklahoma
Big
State, I
12,
think is
bro.
really like Oklahoma State has found a new gear. I think Oklahoma State's legit.
Do you think TCU has a small chance this week?
Who does Oklahoma State have left?
TCU's plus 9.5.
Oh wait, Oklahoma State.
Actually, I was a crazy thing for the games we've been to. Lost every game.
Oklahoma State gets
I'm going to
Houston
that
and
one.
BYU. It's going to be
Every game lost.
pending a
2 of
miracle.
them touchdown favorites.
Pending a
One of them was
miracle.
Bama.
It should be Oklahoma State. It should be Oklahoma State. They get Houston.
Oklahoma State's
and
good.
BYU. Yes, Gundy's disrespected.
It's since that game they played Kansas State at night and throttled them at home. They've been on fire since.
Yeah.
I
They
got
started the
shit
year-
on for saying that.
They've been on fire since. They're to me, that's what they were my lock of the week. I said they're a better team than Oklahoma. I think Texas and Oklahoma State are the 2 best teams in the Big 12.
They lost. They got smashed by South Alabama.
I know that it was early though. It was like
I know. And South
they've
Alabama,
turned a
I was
new
high
leaf.
on. They suck. So
They were horrible early in the year. They've turned a leaf. They put a new quarterback and everything. They've been great since.
Listen
It
to
was the
this. This is
Kansas
the way
game.
you can kind of usually see things with Vegas. Vegas and the committee kind of usually in the same cahoots.
They're in
correct?
cahoots.
Bama's 9-1 to win the championship. Texas is 14-1. They have there's still Ohio State right now. They have Michigan, Georgia, Florida State. Ohio State is top 4. That obviously one's going to go away. One plays each other
Highly
100%, and there's no way they take an SEC win. Who did not lose in conference, by the way. If they run the table, they haven't lost in conference at all. It was an out of conference. That is looked at differently, right?
It'd
And
be-
they don't look like if it's. I know it's at Texas.
It'd be an unprecedented scenario, like a scenario they've never ran into before.
This would be the best thing ever, though.
It's the only time they've ever ran into that. It was different because it was when Penn State beat Ohio State, but Penn State had 2 losses and Ohio State had 1.
Yeah.
This would be the first time where they beat them head up and they both have 1 loss. Both would be conference champions.
they'd have to leave out Alabama, which I don't think they can do.
No, I'm telling you, I think you're
undefeated
right.
Georgia.
I think they fuck Oregon.
Beating an undefeated
I think
Georgia.
I think Oregon would get shafted.
Crazy to leave them out. Alabama, if that
There's
happens.
also a lot of.
I think Oregon gets
The
fucked.
internet would.
I think they
lose their mind, though,
they
if
make like
Texas got left
they
out.
make like what would happen is they make like the Big Ten winner 1, Florida State 2, and then Texas 3, Bama 4.
There's another fun scenario in here. Ole Miss beats Georgia in the regular season, but doesn't get to the SEC championship. Ole Miss is sitting there as well. What if? there's
Well,
a
they have-
lot-
Bama beat
I want the
they have
whole
1
fucking
loss,
thing to
right?
blow up.
Ole Miss is 1 loss.
Yeah, Bama.
That's right. Yeah. Wow.
There's so many scenarios. I love this scenarios.
What if Louis? Listen.
Oh God.
What if Louisville?
Oh God. Here we
Louisville
go.
beats
I was
Florida
waiting to
State.
see how long it would take you to bring up Louisville. Is
Louisville-
Wisconsin still got a chance?
No, they're out. Officially out. Louisville beats Florida State. I think
Louisville
I
got blown
kept
out.
it-
They got
I didn't-
blown out by Pitt, who's like 2-6.
Everyone has a bad game.
2-7.
Florida State played Pitt close too. I'm not going to all the crazy scenarios.
Lose, though.
I do think it would be comically funny if all the major conference championships won with teams that you didn't expect to win. Like who's going to come out of the West? It's kind of funny if Michigan or Ohio State loses the Big Ten championship also. Like I hope the whole thing blows up.
Oh my
but
God.
I'm not doing the completely unlikely.
What if
What I'm
Michigan-
doing is
He's lost to fucking like Minnesota.
What if Michigan loses to Penn State and beats Ohio State?
this is a very real.
That's crazy.
This is a very real situation where you could be looking at Bama, Oregon, Texas, and a Big Ten champion all in that mix. And who was the 5th, I said? And
Florida State.
Florida State and an ACC champion. You could be looking at all 5 of those teams right there, and you only got room for 4 at the dinner table.
Is this the last year for 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I
Which
like
will be even
sports is
funnier
fun like
next year
that.
when we're arguing over 13.
Yes. That's why I like 4 does suck, but 4's fun when this happens.
When this happens.
Honestly,
12 is like, we know who the 12 are in right now.
And with Oregon too, with the Pac-12 disintegrating, they're so much easier to just say, fuck off.
Yeah.
Which Oregon obviously being a fucking tizzy, obviously the fans and whoever, but I think they'll just be the easiest to say.
I truly think they're the
Respectfully,
best team in the
fuck
country.
off.
I'm not even kidding.
What percentage?
I think they're top like 3. I really do.
What percentage would
3,
you
4.
say that they leave Bama out?
I honestly,
That scenario,
honestly, 4%. I'm not even kidding. They
crazy.
dude, they had 2 losses last year. They were thinking about it. People were like,
really thinking.
they were like in the conversation though.
No.
They
Nick Saban just tried to be like, well, we'd be favored if we played them, so we should get in.
But it
Like, why even play the games? then? You're just favored.
That's the argument I've always
What were they
hated.
ranked?
Bama would be a 37-point favorite to TCU. Well, tough. TCU deserves to get in.
What was Alabama
spreads
ranked
I don't
at the end
argue.
last year?
What?
6?
They ended up 6.
6 with 2 losses.
I could.
Well, they were the first 2. They were like the highest 2-loss team.
if Saban gets up there,
Never let them out. They'll let them in with 1 no matter what.
Saban gets up there and goes, well, right now, like, who would you have on a neutral field, us or Texas? It's like, if he says that, somebody should just ban him.
I'd be like, guy, they went to
They
they
beat
went to
you.
Bama, and not
Beat
only
you.
beat you,
Exactly.
beat like double digits.
I love that. I love it.
Salt my own eyes.
Don't talk about my team like that. This team is.
I'm telling you that
good.
it's just I need that scenario more than I need anything. I think that would be they should just televise it. Televise the selection committee. It'd be fucking hilarious.
It's crazy they don't. I would love that. They would love watching that.
Yeah. Anything else in terms of gambling out of what came out of the different games like that? Washington.
Iowa Northwestern
Awesome game.
was amazing.
Iowa's the best.
Would have
football
covered by
team.
Northwestern.
I wish Iowa was undefeated, where they're like beating teams like 4-3, and it's just like, didn't they say the Cubs had more, like 5 more
Still
games
point, yeah.
more than?
Well, I looked at it because everyone was making fun of the over. It got to 30.5, I think, at the start of the game. In real time, at halftime, it got down to 16.5.
16.5. Yep.
Yeah,
Now
just
Rutgers-
hit. 7.
I bet.
You see what
actually,
I was
yeah,
at
I bet it.
the Rutgers Iowa one. It's 28.5.
Yeah, it's lower.
The lowest total in the history of
Lower.
college football.
It's amazing.
28.5.
Like Iowa, I don't know why people get mad at Iowa. Iowa's one of the funnest teams.
I think how funny is you bet the 30.5, the lowest total lowest total ever, hit easily. Didn't sweat for a second. Unbelievable. And the fact that the Iowa coach, the offensive coordinator, had the balls to say, if I don't average 25 points a game this year, fire me in his contract.
Yeah.
And he's already
We're not even
resigned.
sniffing it.
Yeah.
He's out already.
But he's still coaching.
He's still coaching.
He was-
because they were winning. Because they were winning games.
they're 7-2, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Sucks that they lost. We needed them to
know.
go 11-1.
They had 1 loss, so you got to put Iowa in.
Yeah, and they win. They give this. That's what I wanted. I wanted the whole thing to fucking blow up. But yeah, it's wild. College.
Seriously, if Michigan loses at Penn State, then beats Ohio State, that gets interesting.
What's that tiebreaker then?
Me and Case, there's a bunch of them. I don't even know what the first one is.
Wow.
Honestly, don't even get me.
It gets like deep. There's like
Is one of them like total points scored? Because Franklin sure as fuck thinks that's one. The way he
Harbaugh does too, especially later on. I don't know. I mean, that'd be kind of if it's like I don't even know. I don't know what it is.
If it gets all down to it, it's a complete coin flip. Fucking televising that like Friday Night Lights.
I was gonna
Those
say,
idiots.
ain't no curses.
Yeah, no curses. Yeah, that's
Real.
it's. I need that. I don't just don't fuck up any of those. Just give me that scenario. I know I'm like obsessing about it, and there's a lot going on, and something always happens. But like,
Oh, it's getting
wouldn't
real
that be
now.
a compelling fight? Like that's
getting real.
crazy,
That's getting very real.
crazy. So whatever. That's what I want. College hoops starts tonight. You got Maction in the next couple of days.
Let me tell
November
you
is
something
is
right
the
now.
war.
Take the big. I'll tweet out the big favorites, but Niagara money line is live against Notre Dame.
I like that.
They're plus 8.5. Notre Dame is god awful.
Plus 10 right now. I just checked it.
Plus 10 now.
What's going on?
On up, take it. Get the points. No, Notre Dame is dog shit. I'm sprinkle money. I'm not. But it's take the plus 10, and the big favorites. There's some ones that are gonna blow the fucking doors off of these.
Where
teams.
is Georgia and Oregon playing? That
Vegas.
game's at 4:30.
Vegas, T-Mobile.
It's minus 5.5 Oregon.
Oh,
That's
it's-
I got Georgia
Wait, so
6.5.
out in Vegas, so it's 1:30 out there. They're playing the game.
Yeah.
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 That's
Are
the first game you can like really bet on.
Georgia plus 6.5 locked in.
I kind of like Georgia too. That's what I'm leaning towards.
I know who they got. I was talking about Consult. R.J. Melendez, Illinois kid.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah, he's not bad. But look at Arkansas 30-1 as a long shot. 30-1.
That's bust.
It's not really a long shot for Arkansas, but like 30-1 is they're very, very good. Good transfer class. Obviously, Kansas is going to be fucking incredible. I'm trying to think of. I like Memphis. They're 23. Their average age is 23. I love when teams are old as fuck in college.
I'm on Bama and St. Mary's.
Duke minus 27.5 is what you need to tell you. They're gonna blow them out.
In terms of futures, I'm
Nova, I love Nova too.
I think Nova back this year.
Nova's very good
I
as
think
well.
Nova's back. I think UConn's live too.
two futures I would take would be Bama and St. Mary's.
Everyone, I think St. Mary's starting to get like a sec. Like everyone's talking about them.
You can be a 1 out there. I know Gonzaga's good, but like
Yeah,
be a 1 or a 2.
You remember like a few months ago, random in the summer, my guy called in. That's what I'm talking about. He was through that. He gave Nova and St. Mary's.
Yeah. St. Mary's is everyone.
He's a sharp guy. He does like deep research.
Oh, they're definitely gonna be good, but they're getting very high. I can't
Chanel
fucking
3-point
wait.
sniper.
Like we have Duke, Arizona on Friday. Like there's some good games coming.
What's
Yeah, it's only this month.
Is it USC, Kansas State today, or who is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Out in Vegas, but US
someone's out.
Kansas State's out with 2 guys. One guy's hurt,
I saw
and
that Tomlin
got
Tom was
suspended.
the big man.
Did they
yeah.
say anything about Bronny yet?
He's not playing.
He's not playing.
No.
That sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. I like for my futures. I like Houston a lot. I like Hunter Dickinson
They'll
to
always
actually
be
win Player
good.
of the Year.
What
I know.
what number is Houston right now for it to win it all?
I'm gonna say 30-1.
Okay, so not
They're
like,
gonna
not like the favorite.
they've reloaded and not as many people are as high on them as they were last year, but the talent's just as good. LJ Cryer from
This is
Baylor.
non-biased.
Okay, he's wow.
Yeah,
so this
they
is where
got
I'm getting.
Shed. They got
Yeah,
Arsen,
you don't know all the names, right?
I'm a guy like
Arsenio,
I don't get deep into
that
college ball till like
I know.
mid-December.
They're
So
fucking good.
So what I do for the first month, I just listen to people I know are smart, and I listen to them till I like get my bearings on it.
Hunter Dickinson 7-1 to win the Wooden Award. Love that.
He's gotta be the favorite then, yeah.
No,
He's
Edie
behind
is.
Edie.
Okay, so all right,
7-1
okay.
is a good bet for him because he's in that system. I'm telling you, he's a different
How
player.
many years has Edie been in the league?
Dude, think about
This
this.
year
Hunter
4 or
Dickinson has another year after this.
That's crazy.
That's
I think if you were through COVID, you got a freebie year.
Yeah.
COVID
6
fucked
years.
up everybody. Yeah, it's crazy.
I think 2 more years we'll be done with that.
Let's
I think so.
end it
Wow,
on
I
this.
guess,
The,
yeah.
the Jets do have a game tonight.
Let's go.
What do people like? What's the feeling?
Jets.
It's a weird spot because the Jets have to win it to keep track of, stay ahead of Buffalo, stay in the mix. Chargers, I think their coach can put them out of it in 5 seconds. What Zach Wilson shows up? What are you guys looking at with the Jets?
Yeah, I'm on the Jets tonight, plus 3.5. The half makes a big difference there for me. And then, they're at home against the Chargers, who've been kind of inconsistent all year. You don't really know what you're going to get from them. I also like both teams to get a passing touchdown. That's minus 120. And then the Chargers have gotten one every game.
Zach Wilson chucking.
Yeah.
All he needs one. Just need one. And then Zach Wilson to get 13.5 rushing yards is minus 110.
This game is so funny because it's Jets, great defense. Chargers, dog shit defense. Then you got Justin Herbert, who's okay. But you also have Wilson, who's dog shit. So you want over, under, you have no idea.
I told Kenjack, I wish we could combine our teams. You'd have like an amazing team.
Oh, yeah, combined teams would be great. But yeah, I think you got to lean under here.
You
no?
got to go under.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even put Wilson in the dog shit category anymore.
Just
I put him
shit.
below average.
I think
Yeah.
shit category.
But dog shit.
take the dog
Dog shit
out.
means you have no chance.
I'll take the dog out. He's still shit.
He's not turning the ball. He's not throwing any interceptions.
Dude, that drive to win against the Giants, like he was throwing darts.
He was.
2 darts.
He has his moments.
He's got
Hear what you
moments.
just said? The Giants.
Giants defense is.
Giants defense is
Last
good,
yesterday
It's
they were
not.
bad, but
It's not.
Aiden O'Connell
Yesterday was a lot of turnovers.
30 against us.
That throw he had to put him
Yeah,
in
it was
field
on
goal
turn- it was
position.
turnovers
That was a
and
moment.
nonsense.
That weather was also shit.
It was crappy weather.
I'm not saying he's good. I'm saying he's below average.
No, I know. We're talking.
The over-under is 40.
Trying to steadily improve to game manager.
Exactly.
I don't think he's quite there yet.
Yeah, he's
to
not
label
there
game
yet.
manager.
I can't
He's
have
working
him
on
manage
Couple more years.
more consistent. Maybe be one. I'm on Jets in the under.
Give him a couple more years to be a game.
I feel like this could be a field goal, just a field goal
That's
game.
what I like.
So
Jets
it's,
plus 3.5 under 40.
I like the field goals. What
Yeah, I
else do
like
you want?
Jets 3.5.
I got to take Jets money line just
All right.
because I have to, and Tottenham money line.
Oh, yeah?
Chelsea.
There we go.
Oh,
Hotspurs.
Yeah,
you
so
a soccer guy?
I'm a soccer guy.
Really?
Yeah. Got into it. Like
Rico, you're not gonna call him any names?
no, not with his size. If
Say
he was a
it.
kicker,
Rico thinks that it's a waste of grass.
Oh, it's a lot of. The story goes, it was the 2012, I think, World Cup. was being played in August, and then that's during training camp, which anything you can do to take your mind off of football and training camp, you do. So I'm watching soccer, and our right tackle, Breno Giacomini, whose parents are from Brazil, straight off the boat in Boston. So Portuguese is his first language, English second, with a Boston accent. Guys, and he's like 6'7", 330 pounds. Just mind-blowing. He loves soccer, and Brazil is really good. So he was watching, he was kind of teaching me a little bit about it, and I got sucked into it. So then when that finished, I was like, I need more. And he was like, EPL just started. Follow them.
I like that. Did you watch football when you played?
I watched guys that I knew. So like if I knew somebody on the team, I'd watch that game. And it would be on. It's usually on in the household. But I never like, ooh, I'm going to sit down and watch the Thursday night game.
Not like now or like.
Yeah, like now, like I'm sitting down watching the games. And
yeah, I feel like a lot of athletes don't watch the sport they play.
No, I'd watch if I knew someone playing. Like I'd watch a lot of Green Bay games when they were on because best man in my wedding played for Green Bay. So it was like, I'll watch that and see how he does.
That's a good friend. Yeah, that's a really nice friend.
He won my Super Bowl, but it's no big deal.
Who was it?
AJ Hawk. They beat Pittsburgh after we lost to Pittsburgh. But my son was born that day, so it's kind of like, I got my kid.
That's close.
Yeah.
Got more.
I got plenty of them.
Yeah, you can drop a kid.
Yeah.
Super Bowl?
Come on, I got none of those.
Yeah, it should be. I was going to say, too, you're not a stranger to watching nobody score for 3 hours with some of those years of the offense. So soccer to you is like, could be a bump.
Are you going to do the whole point thing? Because like if you watch a 7-0 game, it's really a 1-score game. So 1-0 is the same thing.
Yeah, fair enough. I was making a shot at the Jets.
I caught it. Don't worry.
I don't think he missed that one.
All right, fair enough.
I know we weren't good. I'm
some years.
well aware of that.
I got you. All right. So, fun stream tonight. We obviously got a Monday night game. We got college basketball wire to wire. November is now where it's loaded in. So,
Are we all on the Jets tonight?
I'm not. I'm on field goals. So you guys can win 9-0. It's fine. 12-0. It's fine with me.
Jets 3.5, under 40, and every Brees Hall prop you can take.
Like it.
All right.
My pick of the day, though, Zach Wilson over 13.5 rushing yards. It's -110. He's gotten 14 or more rushing yards in each of the last 5 games.
All right.
There's the stats.
That's Pick Central. Barstool Radio is going now. We will see you tomorrow.